Wow, crazy. Jarrell Big Baby Miller reportedly fails another drug test. In the words of DJ Khaled, another one. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Make sure you head over to my Patreon. Link in the description. Got some fun stuff coming. I'm doing the group sessions, so you guys should enjoy that. Hit the Patreon link, or you can hit the join button underneath this video by the subscribe button to become a YouTube channel member with the same perks as Patreon. Let's get it. Now, Mike Coppinger of The Athletic has broke the news, and this is a crazy one. 2 hours ago, it says breaking. Jarrell Big Baby Miller has tested positive for a performance-enhancing substance and has been pulled from the July 9th fight with Jerry FORREST on ESPN, sources tell The Athletic. Jarrell Miller was set to fight Anthony Joshua last year before testing positive for 3 PEDs. It says full story with direct details, quotes, and reaction. Some people never learn. Says here's the full story with all the details, including comments from a beside himself Lou DiBella, who is Jerry FORREST's promoter and also Miller's promoter, Top Rank. And that's with The Athletic, so make sure you guys click on that. I'll put the link in the description. It says not again. Jarrell Miller tests positive for PED, comeback canceled. Wow. I really have no words. I personally know Jarrell Miller. He's always been cool to the channel, but I mean, this is just ridiculous. He was set to come back, and now he's tested positive for another performance-enhancing drug. I mean, now it's bad news, man. Any way you look at it, any way you spell it, it's bad news. He could be facing a lifetime ban. The first time, he didn't have a boxing license, so he didn't really suffer a severe punishment. He had a 6-month ban, and that was kind of on a technicality. They couldn't really go after him because of a loophole. But now, if he was set to come back, that's something different, because, he might have had to get his license renewed at this point. And this is literally the 3rd time he's failed a drug test. He did one when he was, I think, kickboxing, or he was in some form of MMA combat. One in boxing last year, which is the big one that everyone would know from the Joshua fight. And then now he's supposed to fight a Jerry FORREST, and his comeback is canceled on Top Rank. And the funny thing is, Top Rank, they just signed Jarrell Miller, right? So Top Rank has decided, hey, we're coming back. Hold on, so you guys see. Top Rank says that, see, here's the thing. Top Rank, it says Jarrell Miller signed. They've had such horrendous luck lately. They've had fights canceled. They had to send people in camps home because people tested for the COVID-19. They had people miss weight, right? So Michaela Mayer tested positive. She got kicked off the Shakur card. Then Jamel Herring was supposed to fight in July. He tested positive for COVID. Brian Lua's opponent, who missed weight by an egregious amount, 4, 5, 6 pounds, something like that. His fight got canceled. They got a Vasquez dude. His opponent tested positive for a PED. Correct that, for the COVID-19. So his opponent got canceled. And you had, Les Pierre's manager tested positive for COVID-19. And he was supposed to fight against Pedraza, the one that fought Gervonta Tank Davis. And they were sent home. They had to reschedule their bout. Then you had their best fights, Joe Smith Jr. and Eleider Alvarez. They said Eleider Alvarez has a shoulder injury, right? And then we find out, to make that more messed up, their other fight that people were looking forward to with Ivan Baranchyk, who was in the World Boxing Super Series. Boom. Ivan Baranchyk suffered an undisclosed injury, and his July 7th ESPN fight with Jose Zapata is postponed, sources tell The Athletic. Right? And then now they have, not again. Oh man, not again. Jarrell Miller is off of a comeback. So that's the other guy we know about, you know, like that would be name known, name recognized. And I mean, he's supposed to come back. He just got signed. And then now his whole wave is stained right now. Man, Top Rank, they signed Jarrell Miller, failed a drug test in the past too, as I mentioned. Top Rank signed Tyson Fury. He failed a drug test in the past with nandrolone, right? Then he failed another drug test with cocaine. Top Rank signed Tony Yoka, who had a ban because he failed a drug test. I mean, these are the heavyweights that Top Rank has in their pool. And right now it's looking like a cesspool. People are getting caught left and right. I'm not sure what Jarrell Miller had in his system this time, but they said it's an actual PED. So it could have been anabolic, stanozolol, ostarine, you know, EPO. I mean, this is insane. I haven't really seen anything like that. Crazy thing is, Wilder called this out a long time ago. He said he believed that Miller particularly was on something, right? And it's ironically enough, Jarrell Miller said something about Joshua as well. He said Joshua was on something and outed him and accused him of being on something. And since that point, he's failed 2 drug tests. So, you know, the punishment could be crazy. That's not my job. In the words of Mac Dre, that's not my job. That's not my job. So it's not my job to be the judge, jury, and executioner. I'm just a boxing fan and spectator. And just look crazy for Top Rank. It looks crazy for Jarrell Big Baby Miller. And the reason I'm saying Top Rank is because, you know, this is blood on your watch. It's happening on your card. He was supposed to fight on ESPN. Obviously, you can't control what the fighters are doing necessarily, but you took the gamble. Eddie Hearn, you know, props to him. He had Jarrell Miller signed with DAZN and Matchroom, and when he failed the drug test, he kind of outed Jarrell Miller, and then they cut their deal and then, you know, severed the contract with Jarrell Miller. So they wiped their hands clean of the situation. So now he's just able to move forward. But crazy stuff in the heavyweight division. Crazy stuff. It's like multiple people are failing drug tests. Now, the only benefit with this is the drug test fail was discovered before the actual fight. So, you know, nobody was potentially harmed or could lose their life. Listen, cheating is cheating, and there's no way that it makes sense that they're cheaters, you know, that there's no punishment. You know, this is a severe sport. It's a brutal sport. It's a dangerous sport as is. So if people are willing to go the Lance Armstrong, Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds route, you know, and do anything to win, I mean, that's different. You're not just hitting a ball and hitting a home run over the fence. You know, you're hitting a person's face. You could leave people with a permanent palate. You could leave people, you know, permanently maimed, disabled, or even worse. They could lose their life. So this is really, I can't say it's shocking in the grand scheme. It's not. I told you on my channel, I don't get shocked at anything in boxing. Boxing is such the wild, wild west. I really don't. I never get shocked when I see things. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess that's a word that people would use. It's shocking that you had a chance at rebirth and a slap on the wrist after your second drug test failed with multiple, you know, G14 classified, GW 15, 16, you know, EPO, all these various drugs, and you really didn't have nothing, and that you would continue to have stuff in your system. I mean, that is crazy. It's like, you know, it's almost like Epstein going to jail and then getting out of jail and still feeling untouchable and continuing to do the same things, you know, continue to doing the same things, or R. Kelly or whatever. And I'm not going to say too much because I don't want the algorithm to pick it up. But it's just like, how are you so brazen? How are you so bold? Why would you continue this behavior? And the sad thing is, no disrespect, I don't really even know who he is like that. But the Jerry Forrest dude, if you're willing to cheat for a comeback fight with him, and he's not a Deontay Wilder, he's not a known commodity like that. So if you're willing to do something illegal against the set of boxing rules to win, and get a victory, then imagine some of the tougher fights, like if you were to fight Wilder or Joshua or anything like that. If you have to cheat for a Jerry Forrest fight, not a good look. That's all I'm going to say. Let me know what you guys think. What should be the consequence? Disappointing, Other than that, that's just really all I got to say. It's just boxing got to get a hold of this. And again, this is a bad thing. This is all bad news for Top Rank. They're signing these people, and I know you can't, again, control what an athlete's doing. But if someone has a track record of failing, you pick up that responsibility and you pick up that liability. Imagine, that's why some jobs, if you think about it, some jobs, they do a background check. Because if you have embezzlement, people can change. But if you have embezzlement or DUIs or felonies, they want to know about that, because they may, depending on the position, they may or may not hire you. If you have crimes against kids and the job involves teaching kids or being around kids, then, with the background check, they may not pick you up. Like I said, if you have embezzlement and financial crimes that you've committed, with fraud and credit card scams, then maybe they don't want you to work at the bank. But only in boxing, look at Top Rank. They've hired, like they gave Antonio Margarito, right? They gave him a second chance at life after his whole rap controversy, and he gets a big fight with Pacquiao. Tyson Fury, I did the video about it, Glovegate 2.0. His gloves are skimmed, and people continue to get opportunities. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a bad look for really all parties involved. It's just not a good look. This is not something you would want. And you kind of assume the responsibility when someone has a tattered past, and you just, you do it anyway. I just literally told you 3 heavyweights that Top Rank has touched that have all failed at least one, and 2 of them have failed 2 drug tests. Tyson Fury has failed 2 drug tests, and now he has the Glovegate 1 and 2. Jarrell Miller had failed 2 drug tests, 1 in boxing, 1 in like the kickboxing, and then Tony Yoka had failed a drug test. So it's just Top Rank's programming has faltered recently. They decided to come back early, and it's one thing after another. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We working.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.